What's up, everybody in YouTube land? No Level Cap is back, and we're coming to you today to give you No Level Cap's best anime of 2025.
Yo, what's good, people? Welcome back to the No Level Cap podcast with all your friendly neighborhood black nerds, where we cover all the anime, all the gaming, all the nerd culture stuff, absolutely zero of the BS. Back with a new episode every Monday morning. I am your host, Sage Ashford. These are my co-hosts, Devin Butts, Rakeem Beck, Terrence. Wow, that's the first time I ever fucked that up. It happens, though. Terrence Flowers and Will Coleman. Like Rakeem said, this week we're talking about our favorite anime of 2025. Sorry about that. Let's just go ahead and get into it. We do have a whole host of anime to check out. But first, Rakeem wanted to talk about one of his favorite cartoons / anime. I'm not sure, do we know who developed this one?
Ooh, same people that did the Devil May Cry series, I believe.
Okay. Okay.
Which is crazy. They came out the same year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, we're not going to discriminate. Are we going to run this bitch? Because Rakeem did fuck with some Splinter cells, so.
Yeah, this basically, just a long story short, I watched this because it's filling the void where Ubisoft can no longer create Splinter Cell games consistently for some reason. So I really want. Well, that's a good point. But following up with that on a more stringent note, this is an action stealth series. Right at the John Wick franchise involved that was a big plus for me. Big part of this is Sam Fisher is retired now. He's kind of moved on from his previous life. He's a spy, but another agent from his previous agency has found their way into some trouble, and he ends up coming across their path and saving them, and it kind of forces him back into the life a bit. A lot of stuff is uncovered in this series. A lot of things going behind the scenes. A corporation who's good on one front but doing evil things in the background. A lot of questions about, our society as a whole and what it takes to get somebody back to form once they've kind of been disillusioned with the life they were in. A lot of good action in this series, of course, is very, 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 a lot of murder, a lot of action, a lot of intense action scenes. I think the performances are very well directed. I think the action is very well seen. The animation is fine. I just thought it was a very good series, solid series for something, I never thought would get adapted. I remember when I first heard about this, I was so excited because it's not a series I thought would happen. I thought it would be, if it would, it'd be like a live action movie and that was it. Getting the animated series was a pleasant surprise, and I think it was executed very well. So I got to say, good ups for Splinter Cell. If you get a chance, check it out.
Solid. Next up, let's get to something that a lot of us watched. I didn't get a chance to watch as much as I only watched the first episode. But who is this? Oh yeah. Nah, we're not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. Let's switch to Demon Slayer, Infinity Castle. Terrence, you're up.
Oh, jumping right into this one. Okay. Okay. I mean, Demon Slayer, huge franchise at this point, like one of the biggest in the world, and this movie really solidified like Demon Slayer is here, like for real, like for real, it is here, like is here in Japan, is here in America. Like people showed up for this movie. I went to the theaters to see this one. A lot of people were there. A lot of people were really excited, and this movie, it delivered. This movie is quite good. I will say there are some shortcomings to it. In my opinion, it's not perfect, but in terms of it being our introduction to like the Infinity Castle saga and it being like the first of, I think that they're doing 3 movies to like finish the series.
Correct.
For this being the first of the 3 movies that's finishing up the series, like this was a very solid start. I mean, we're at the point now where they're no longer doing any more of the series, to my understanding. They're just going to do these movies, and that's what's going to close it out. So you have to go to the theater or wait for it to come to streaming to catch up with the latest part of the series. The fights, I mean, as always, Ufotable, they deliver with the animation. This was top notch. A lot of really good action sequences. There's certain characters that, of course, I'm not gonna spoil anything in case anyone hasn't seen it, but there are some characters where you're wondering if they're gonna make it or not. Like, things are very dire. Like, there's a lot of urgency to this movie, and that's part of the appeal of it. It's not only the action, but the urgency of, are all these characters going to make it out? And you're going to see that, of course, as this series of movies goes along. I will say the only thing with this one is, I think that the still the best Demon Slayer movie, in my opinion, is Mugen Train. And it's because Mugen Train as an arc, it just flows so well for a movie. There's not really a lulling moment in it. In this one, I will admit, there's a point where the action just like reaches its peak and you are just on the edge of your seat. And then they get into the backstory of a certain character and the movie kind of goes to a halt almost. But to be fair, the backstory that they reveal for that character is really good, and it is necessary to flesh out that character and help you to understand their motivation for why they did what they did. But in terms of pacing, it does grind everything to a halt and forces you from coming off of this high action wise to like scaling you back down, and now you gotta take in like all this more like emotional part of the movie. But overall, is still a really good watch. Like, if you're a Demon Slayer fan, I mean, obviously there's no reason to skip this one. This continues the rest of the story. The fact that this was actually nominated for the Golden Globes as one of the best animated movies, I mean, that was amazing. I wish it had been nominated for Oscar, but unfortunately it didn't get that nomination. But I mean, regardless, this movie made money at the box office, like both abroad and in America. So yeah, Demon Slayer is a juggernaut of the industry for a reason. And yeah, if you like this series, this is one you should definitely be watching.
I do feel like this is probably the reason that the pacing feels off is that with Infinity Castle, you're right. It is just a single contained arc. Like, if you watch the series up to that point, you can go watch the film, you get the full story, and it's not really rushed because it's not that long of a arc in the manga, so it's fine. This, on the other hand, it's one long arc. Mm-hmm. You could split it in two in the manga if you want. I feel like it's still just one big arc. So I don't know like how this is gonna play out over the next two films, and I do wonder if they're gonna have enough time or if the third film's gonna feel a little rushed. I guess we'll find out. But I'm glad we're off to like a fairly decent start so far.
I will say this movie was almost 3 hours long, so I mean they put plenty of time into it. So I wouldn't doubt that the next two are also going to be up to that length.
I would imagine.
Hopefully that gives them plenty of time to cover everything.
Next up on, let's do. Yeah, sure. We'll do The Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity. Will, I believe that's you.
Yeah, that is definitely me. So I chose this anime because I got the furthest along with it. I think I got like maybe a couple episodes left. But I've been enjoying it quite a bit simply for the fact that it is definitely along the lines of a romantic slice of life show. But I kind of like it, especially with episode 6, because I know I watched that one recently and I enjoyed that a lot because these characters are actually talking out their issues instead of just kind of going on like this whole will they, won't they? And they're also not doing this whole big dramatic like argument scene. The emotions are through the roof, this, that, and the third, and everything comes back down and does that. It's like a natural progression of things. It feels a little bit more real to me as it does with any other type of romantic slice of life show. I've just been enjoying these characters, and the two characters you see there, though, they are like, the best way I can kind of almost put it is almost in a Romeo Juliet type of thing in a way, because she goes to an all-girls school, he goes to an all-boys school. The girls hate the guys' school because they think they're like below them. But these two have like connected because he works in like a cake shop and she goes there and eats cake all the time, and she always sees him there. So she don't see like this evil man or this evil dude. She sees him. She sees him for who he is. So it's been one of those shows where I'm like, okay, I kind of mess with this show because it's not going off of a lot of like tropes. It's not doing that. it's doing like for real deal. Like, hey, we could talk this out. Hey, we can make this work. I know our friends may not care to see us talking because we're in two different places in life, but we can do this if we just all figure it out. So that's why I've been really messing with this show so far. I got to finish the last couple of episodes because the characters have been like really good so far, and the animation is like really amazing. I love this the symbolism and how they like show things off and how these characters are dealing with their problems as well.
This is one that I have on my list to watch. I've heard a lot of really good things about it.
Yeah, I enjoy it, man.
Shit, their rating is through the roof.
Yeah, it's been good.
If really you don't use my anime list a lot, like 9s are incredibly rare. Like there aren't that many 9s on the site. Most of the best anime lie in like the high 8s. So like 8.58 is like pretty high. And then like the vast majority of anime are going to be in the 7s and in the 6s. So this rating is through the roof.
I like the art style. It's really clean.
Next up, Devin. Tell us about this Let's Play.
Oh yeah. Man, this is definitely a joy from last year. Just the first of all, the fact that there's so many nods to like video game culture. One of my favorite openings, the song is fire, and just how they do like the whole video game stats and stuff. Obviously, because the protagonist, she's a video game developer, so that's obviously there's a lot of video game references in here, like names and stuff. The guy that likes her, his name is Link, so obviously it's like a Zelda reference. He even has blonde hair. He has a green apron, so it's like if you're a gamer, you kind of get those little nods. Her dog, she has a dog named Bowser. He was a cute little guy that's always mad at martial law, another video game reference. Like this show was awesome, man. It's a little cozy slice of life anime about two people that become basically an op becomes your neighbor. Like let's say the person that you're like, hey man, like I hate this person just ruined my career, ruined this for me, and it's like, hey, how you doing? I'm moving in. It's like, oh, it's nice to meet you. And then you like find out who it is, like you my biggest op. So that's definitely a interesting premise. But it's kind of one of those things where as they get to know each other, there's like a little bit of a love interest because she obviously finds him attractive. Like martial laws he's I forgot what they call it in here, but he's like a YouTuber, basically, big famous guy. He's in shape. He's got this hot girlfriend. So even though he gave for video game a unfair review, that's like the whole premise of it. She makes a game, he plays it, and he doesn't really play the game properly. He just like plays it's like, why is this not like this? And why does this do this? And he's like, this game sucks. And it just gets review bombed like crazy, which is again very topical because it's like that's how stuff happens today. People play something and they'll give it like an unfair rating because they got to get good or they just didn't play the game properly or something. They didn't play it. Give it time to marinate. But I really like this anime. I like the animation. There's a thing they do in this where I forgot what they call them, but there's like these background characters, these little like creatures you'll see, and they'll have like a name on it. Some be like it'll say depression or fear or anxiety, which is a lot of stuff that everybody in real life deals with. So it kind of brings that real life element into these things. That like hers, like confidence, like she's not as confident. So you see like this entity come behind her in a moment where she maybe needs to show confidence and she doesn't. And there's some moments where she does actually do that. Like a moment where she's talking with her boss and she like stands up to him, and she's like a person that doesn't really stand up to people a lot, but in that one moment she's like, I can't do this. And so she actually is like, you know what, this is like care to grow. She's like, she even thinks to herself like, wow, I actually stood up to this person. And she even got like a promotion or something for doing that, which was interesting. So yeah, this is a nice one if you like video games and like slice of life animes. I'd definitely say try this one out.
Solid pick. Next up. The hell with it. Man, I don't care what that rating says. That rating is capped. Like, this show is a lot of fun. It is. If you've ever seen Symphogear, it's a lot like that. Or if you've seen Review Starlight, it's a lot like that. It's people using the power of music to fight, which it's only, I can't say that only anime will make something like this work, but it is something that works best in anime. It's absurd. Pay no mind to the fact that I got like the watch and it's like 0 out of whatever episodes watched. I use Kitsu now. I don't use my anime list normally. But yeah, I've been watching this series every week. It's so much fucking fun. It starts out with like this pop group, and you're thinking like, oh, they put on these really fancy concerts and performances and things like that, and only to find out that like the concerts are a method of gathering like a special type of energy that lets them fight aliens that are so powerful that if they win in a specific area, not only is that area destroyed, but you forget that area ever existed. And so like whole parts of Japan have just vanished because, and presumably other parts of the world have just vanished because these aliens just show up and do whatever they want. And it starts with this one young protagonist trying to go. He's like, oh, I'm gonna go join the group SI-VIS and become one of the dance members. And while he's there, like an alien attack happens, and his older brother, who works for SI-VIS or who is like the lead singer in SI-VIS, is like, hey man, take your ass back home. Except he isn't able to go back home when that alien attack happens, and so that like he gets caught up in the whole performance, and he tries to help out, and in helping, it costs his brother his life. And suddenly the protagonist now has to take the place of everybody else and be like, he has to become like the front man and help the group get back together after like the main character's brother, once he dies, it's like the whole group shatters. Like they were just barely trying to figure out their chemistry, and now this guy's dead, and it's like, oh fuck, the one guy keeping us together kind of destroyed. It was like it falls on the protagonist to be like, hey man, I gotta get everybody back together and help everybody like figure out like how we're gonna work together to fight back against these aliens. And then as they develop more and more of the story, you feel like it feels like a very old school type of anime, because for one, it's an original anime. Like you don't get a lot of those these days. Like a lot of times it's like an adaptation of a light novel or an adaptation of a manga, and it's like, no, this is just an original. You can't go look nothing up and find out like, oh, let's find out where the plot is going. You can't be like, oh man, it's not being adapted. This scene is being adapted. It's like, no, this is just an original series where the creators are just going off and just having fun. And I kind of missed watching something like this. That's why I'm so excited to tune in every week. And even better, it's a full 24 episode series. Like they didn't split it up, like, oh, here's episode 12, and then, we'll be gone for 6 weeks or 6 months to like a year and come back in a year, and here's the other half of the show. Like, no, it's just constantly telling a story, constantly developing its characters. Like I wish that we had more anime like this, that more anime were willing to take risks, or more anime production companies were willing to take risks like this, because I've just been having a blast with this show. Let's see. Who should be up next?
I think it's me
I'm
now.
I'm gonna put this on all of y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Gachiakuta.
Oh yeah. This
is technically, I think just Rakeem. No, Rakeem and Devin put this on their list, but I think most of y'all watch this, huh?
No,
I definitely watched
I
it.
think mainly me and Keem, I guess.
Not enough.
Yeah.
Like I watched
Okay.
like 3 episodes, but I mean that's nowhere near enough to like fully speak on it. So I'll let people who actually got in deep like talk about it.
That's fair. All right, Rakeem.
Gachiakuta is trash, but it found the treasure in the trash. In the most literal sense, this anime is about trash and despondence and the disgusting things we throw away. But what if you had a society that treated people like actual literal garbage and separated it as a caste system, where you have one society that is super squeaky clean and white and everything, and anything that's not clean is cast down into an abyss of dirt and grime and disgustingness, and creatures actually come up from that grime and attack the people who are already down there who have been ostracized. That's Gachiakuta as the base premise. And it's really stark in the beginning. When you first watch the first couple episodes, there are certain scenes that are like, they go really far into like, oh man, that was a lot. Like they show like a scene where the protagonist is getting attacked, a little bit tortured, or they stuff trashed out of dude's throat. Like, whoa, that's far. And then you kind of realize as he move on, like this is the beginning. Is the protagonist is framed for the murder of someone who was very close to him, that he did not commit, but as a result, he's cast down into like the trash area of this cast down society where he lived up in the clean area, but he wasn't treated like a person who's from that area. Like he was treated and looked down upon because he valued things that people thought was trash. Like those were treasures to him. So things that people thought were trash or cast aside, he would look to them as like unique and treasures. And as a result, they ostracized him because he paid attention to little trash items or whatever. But once he gets down there and they find out he's from the up top, he's attacked by people. He's auctioned off almost to a degree, and then eventually he finds his family with this group of people who save him, who are like these people who manipulate objects that are trash or items or inanimate objects and give them power and give them life. And the protagonist, his ability is to do it to any object, while everybody else can only do it to like one. But that's the base synopsis. I can say this anime rules. It starts off kind of weird. The first 2 episodes are they can throw you off a little bit with how intense some of the scenes are. But as it goes and as they establish the rest of the groups, really fun anime, really cool, unique ideas for how they give the people powers. Good black representation. If you want to see black characters, they got them for you in this one. They definitely do. Really dope animation style. The fight scenes are cool. Love the voice cast. Just all around a surprise for me. I mean, it was a hyped up anime for the season, definitely, but I didn't know I would like it this much. I still have like a couple episodes to finish, but what I've watched so far, and I've watched most of it, fantastic. I would give it like a 9 out of 10 if I had a rating, but you should definitely check this anime out.
I was gonna say, you mentioned the voice cast. Shout out to the English dub. The English dub for this show is really good.
It's very good.
Very well done.
Yeah, it's really done well.
I'm gonna let Devin chime in as well, since he was also on his list.
Yeah, this was when I saw this show previewed, I'm like, yeah, this one looks dope. It's already got like when I see some anime, it really stands out like visually, because that's the first thing you have to go off of a lot of times. Like, I'm all for it. The characters look unique. Some of these characters, you look at them, especially what's this little girl name? Guita, I guess that's her name, Guita. She got like the little hood on. I promise some of these characters like they come out of Guilty Gear. Very like weird and metal vibes. I love the system, like the leveling power system that they have is basically like these people called cleaners, which is what Rudo becomes. These people that have like these powers, they call, I think, givers, I believe, or something like that. And you can you take an object, it's an everyday object or something like that, and then you give that object like your power or whatever. So like the main character, he it's usually like one or so item. One of the girls, she has like scissors. They become like giant scissors, and she's just cutting these trash beasts in half and stuff. But the main character, Rudo, he has the ability to like use anything, but like the thing is, it has to be used for its purpose. So there's like one scene where they're fighting this guy, and it's like, we can't beat this guy. One of his teammates has like this little medallion on. It's like he's like a prized possession. It's like a keepsake, kind of like a good luck charm. And he touches it, he uses it, and it transforms into like this shield. And once it's served its purpose, it helped like block some attack or something like that. It like withered away. So his thing is like he can get anything to use his power, but it has to be used for that certain purpose. And once it served its purpose, it like withers away. So he has like a really interesting power. This is one of those anime, like Rakeem said, it's got some scenes early on, but it still kind of keeps some of that, because there's one episode I watched, I'm like, yeah, this is this kind of a lot for this episode. I haven't really seen a lot of discourse on that episode, if there was any, but there was one certain episode where I'm like, yeah, if somebody walked in on you watching this and they be like, all right, what's going on with you, my guy? Because even I was like, dang, they went there. And because it's weird, as I'm watching, I'm like, are they going where I'm thinking they're going? They certainly did. But yeah, it's got some great fight scenes. The enemy group is really interesting. There's something about these items that's apparently like were made from a certain type. There's like these that's a group is looking for, and he has like the gloves, I believe. There's a scene where you might meet this girl. She has like the boots, so there's apparently like a set of items. Like I don't know if it's like a full outfit or something, but they're like these legendary items, and people are looking for them. You know how a villain group is. Hey man, we trying to get all these powerful artifacts or whatever. So, but it's a really good show. I like the animation style, like Rakeem said, the black representation. The girl, I think, what's her name? Seimu, I believe, the black chick with the glasses and low cut.
Yeah,
that's a
bad
the
one
woman.
in the right over there.
Yeah, the secretary. That's a bad secretary, man. It's some goons came up while most of the cleaners had left for a mission. They came up like, oh yeah, so y'all left, so y'all defenses down. She like, who defense down? They had like rocket launches, and she was just like, bit. And I forgot what a power. It's some kind of OD where she can kind of just like almost like a JoJo power. I think she can like just see what's gonna happen. So like, I mean, you cook. But yeah, they come in thinking they gonna, hey, yeah, we got it, man. They all gone. It's just the secretary left. She's like, I'm gonna show you the secretary. I'm gonna show you what I do when I'm not behind that desk. But yeah, this is a good show,
man. Okay, next up, man. Go ahead and tell us about that. May I ask for one final thing, Will?
Okay, so I remember I was watching the trailer, and I can't lie to you, man. I was floored at the fact that she was just throwing hands like this. I'm like, why is she like this? So I watched a very large chunk of this show, and in that first episode, we found out why. So start off with her and her former, engagement partner there, and he got another woman on his arm. Find out he the reason why she just like, you know what? If I can solve any problems, I got two of them right here. So if you act out with me, I'm swinging. Any problems that come my way will get punched. See, she uses violence to solve everything. Scarlet is a character that wears her emotions on her face, even if her face is just straight. The best part of this show for me with Scarlet is she's learning bit by bit, especially behind her ex-fiance's like other brother, who was just kind of like, hey, let me help you out, son. You ain't got to punch everything you see. Let me be a little diplomatic, but let me be your mouthpiece here, so that way you won't get into too much trouble while we out. I can stop some stuff, but if you want to fight, I'm gonna let you fight. So it's one of the funniest halfway romance action shows in a way. So if you want to find something to watch with action in it, I say watch this. If you want to see a lead female character just let loose on everybody, because in the first episode, she is punching her ex's current fiance square in the face because she just like, may I just, punch this bitch you got with you? Let me punch it. And that's even the best part about the show too. Every episode has the question, can I just lump you up right now? Can I lump you up to solve this problem? Because I don't have time for it. You don't have time for it. It's better I punch you and get this over with. So let's go on until I punch everybody.
First episode started with her casting haste, so she could give out the hands at super speed.
Yeah, she sure enough said that. She said something about Chronos and accelerate, and before I knew it, she was handing out electrics like a Mishima, bro. She would have made Heihachi proud that episode. He would have said, that's mine. I promise you, bro. I promise you, the first dude she seen, he said, hey, look, anybody in here can marry my daughter if you stop her. Doria. And he was out on the floor before it was over with. I was just like, all right.
Man, they was promising everything. She was beating up all types of nobles in the episode. They was like promising slaves and everything. It's like, man, y'all ain't not even supposed to keep slaves. You know what? Go ahead and take another punch. Bow. I was like, oh, okay.
I promise you, bro. And she up here, like you said, she casted haste. She casted berserk. She cast every single buff before she started fighting. She just like, if y'all not gonna listen to me or do right by me, run my fade. And I guarantee you, I'm leaving. You not. So
I don't know. I didn't finish this show. I watched like the first 3 episodes. Shout out, at least for the first few episodes, that they actually tried to hunt down a slave ring and shut that bitch down.
They did, yeah. Shout out to that.
Instead of like a lot of these certain isekai that just had slave rings, and it's just like, hey man, this is not my world. So if they got slavery, I mean, it just is what it is. Who am I to judge just because y'all got slaves? Like, man, shut up.
Y'all got slaves.
Don't do something.
Y'all got slaves. Cool. I'm gonna go save the world while that happens in the background. That's what they
Carla
do.
said, I ain't doing none of that. I'm finna punch everybody in the face. You got slaves, bow, get punched. Like,
She said, "I'm gonna put these gloves on. I'm gonna solve all these problems right now. Since y'all ain't doing nothing about it, no politics, fisticuffs."
Next up.
Real quick, I was just gonna say, I watched quite a bit of this anime as well, and yeah, I do agree. This one is quite good. I'm glad that CJ the Champ, shouts to him, that he did a video on it recently about it, and so I'm glad that it's getting more exposure. This is another one where the English dub is also very well done. Like I kind of recommend watching this more so in English and Japanese, just because it's one of those where the comedy is so well done in English that it just makes it so much fun to watch that way. Yeah, this is one that I definitely recommend everybody check out, because it has a little bit of something for everyone. It has romance, action, most importantly the action, because everybody's getting fist to face in some way every episode. So yeah, shout outs to this anime. It's a really good one.
But now that you said the dub is cool, I had to go back and I'll go back and rewatch it, check and see how it goes, because I'm watching it sub. But I'll go back and watch it.
I need to check this anime out.
Please.
I mean, when we saw the trailer, it was kind of like, at first I wasn't interested, and then I saw her just like giving out the beats to anybody that looked at it the wrong way, and I said, okay, I should probably give this show a chance. And the first 3 episodes were pretty good. I only stopped because I just had it's always something around. It's always something to do, some anime to keep up with. We talk about this a lot on the show. And so I was like, if I had to give up any one show, it would be this, but it's not bad. And I mean, y'all can see the rating. Like 7 on my anime list is high. Like the lower shows, like they wind up in the 5s and then the 4s and shit. So 7 is actually pretty high. So
and shout outs to Scarlet for punching people since childhood too.
Yeah, One Punch Princess.
Facts.
Oh yeah.
Terrence, it's actually back on you, man, because I'm gonna let you talk about this Chainsaw Man, the Reze arc.
I need to watch this.
So
yeah, I need to too.
I wish that I had. I almost wish I could go back and redo my Demon Slayer thing. I don't think I did a very good job. Something that I really should have said and put emphasis on, that I will say here, is something that Demon Slayer has done is establish that anime movies are here to stay. You know, it was one of those things where it felt like just a trend at first, the idea of taking an anime arc and making an anime movie, but it is shown now that these make bank, and every high-profile anime, they're going to have some kind of movie from here on, just because these are very popular, and this is a case of it. The Reze arc, this is... I'll say this. This movie is interesting in that it's part romance, part action, and it really leans more into the romance aspect of it than the action. You would think it'd be the opposite. Of course, this follows Chainsaw Man, so this is... This takes place right after the first season. I will admit, while I liked the first season of Chainsaw Man, it didn't leave me like super wowed, like in terms of like, I can't wait till the next season of this comes out. Like I gotta stay on top of this. Like I really liked it. I liked the art direction. I liked the action of the show. But for me personally, it's not one of those that I just have always in the back of my mind that I have to keep up with. But that being said, I did want to go see this movie just because, for one thing, it's a movie, and for me personally, it's much easier to go out and watch movies than it is to keep up with series. I will admit, this year I've been more of an anime movie watcher than anime series watcher, hence why all the ones that I brought up so far are anime movies. But this movie is quite good. The romance part of it, like the story between Reze and Denji, it actually gets you really invested. Like you really like the relationship between the two of them in the beginning, and how Denji has like this moral dilemma of like, but I like Makima, but I really like Reze. Like, which one do I choose? And I mean, Reze makes herself very appealing in terms of how sincere she comes across to Denji in the beginning. And then of course, as the movie goes along, you find out more about her. You know, I'm not going to spoil anything, but then that's when you get to the action parts of it, and the action is, I mean, hey, it's very well done. It is very raw and wild, which is the one thing that I will give Chainsaw Man, is that you will not know what to expect in terms of what's going to happen next. And there's a point where Denji is riding a shark as like a baby a tornado with like a baby face is roaming through the city. Like as I explain it, it sounds so wild, but in context, it's so Chainsaw Man. And, yeah, this movie was very good. I mean, that rating is very high, so people were quite fond of this. I think that if the quality like this can continue from here on, then for me, Chainsaw Man will rise up more and more in the ranks, because I like this movie honestly more than I think I like season 1. Even though I did like season 1, but I think that this movie was so well done in terms of it being it's kind of like Mugen Train in terms of the arc that it's doing is short enough to where it works in the context of a movie without it feeling like we're going through these highs and then we have to hit these lows in terms of pacing, like Infinity Castle. Like I said, that was the only thing with Infinity Castle that I didn't quite care for, was the pacing could have been a little bit better. But here, the pacing is solid all throughout, and I'm looking forward to seeing where the series goes from here.
Great pick.
Mm-hmm.
Watch this.
Yeah, I mean, like
I think it's on Crunchyroll now, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
I know everybody. I think was I the only person that didn't watch Chainsaw Man?
I didn't.
I watched some of it. I didn't finish it.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I didn't watch this either, so I got to make it my business to watch this.
I know Devin, that was one of his favorite shows when the season that came out. So.
Oh yeah.
It's like Don Don in that it's just so kooky and it's kooky, quirky, and wild, and that's part of the appeal of it. I would personally say that I think Don Don pulls off the quirkiness a little bit better. I think this show, if you're more of a horror fan, this will appeal to you more in that regard, just because there's so it's very much kind of like a horror movie. I mean, with of course, he's Chainsaw Man. There's blood everywhere, so yeah.
Yeah.
A wild concept. It's like Edward Scissorhands, but make it anime. Next up, man, let's talk about this Yaiba, bro.
We always watched a little bit of that.
This show is so much fucking fun. It's a series that's much better than it should be. It's a remake of an anime from 1993, and if it looks familiar, that's because it comes from Gosho Aoyama, who also created Detective Conan / Case Closed. And man, just what a show, just from the beginning. Like, it knows exactly how to be like a cartoon while also being like enjoying like this more serious elements that you'd expect from a battle shonen anime. It has a protagonist like Yaiba. The protagonist is kind of unlike any other hero that you're used to, because he's just a shitty chaos gremlin. Like, he literally causes the bad guy to become a bad guy because he's just such a little shit. Like, he comes from, was it Africa? Or was it just jungles in Tokyo? I don't think Tokyo.
I don't know if they specify. I just know they was out in the jungle.
Yeah, he was out in the jungle. And then, like, him and his dad and his tiger and his eagle or whatever, his vulture, they all get captured and sent to Japan, and then they come out and Yaiba's like, cool, I'm in a new area. Now I want to square up with everybody I meet. And like, the first person he runs into at school is like a high school kid who's also a swordsman. He's like, hey man, run the fade with me. And the high school kid is like, bro, you like a child. I'm a grown man. I'm like close to being a grown man. Why would I ever run the fade with you? And Yaiba's like, oh, you don't want to run the fade with me, huh? We gonna see about that. And he just keep needling him and fucking with him. And finally he's just like, all right, man, I'll fight you. And then just to see the way that Yaiba fights, it's unlike any other fighter. Like, he is not afraid to do whatever. Like, he will bite you if he got to. He will like cheat. He'll use any kind of like side weapon that he can. And like the main villain at first is like honorable. He like, what's all this biting and throwing shit and shit? Like, man, just use a sword. Y'all be like, I'm trying to get a W. That's what I'm trying to get. And so like eventually he just drives the main antagonist like nuts enough to be like, hey man, I'm willing to sell my soul to a demon if it means I can get my get back. And it's just, the show just escalates in an insane way from there, in a way that just only anime can, and it's just so fucking delightful to watch. And like, shout out to the directors, and shout out to the animation studio, because they did such a great job animating this show. Like, every fight scene looks clean as fuck. The combat is creative. The animation is not just top notch, but the way that they direct every fight scene looks great. Like it's just a joy to watch. I know that the first season's not over with. Again, I'm caught up, but like it says 11 out of 24. I know the first season's not over with. My bad. I know that the first season is over with, but I also know that it's not done adapting the manga, so I can't wait for the show to come back. I don't think it's coming back this year, but if it does, I'd be down with it. So, anybody else want to chime in on this one?
Go ahead, Devin. You definitely watched a lot of this.
This show. If you saw me laughing while Say was talking, as I'm looking at the poster, I just thought about all the shenanigans that happen in this show
it's crazy.
with the villain getting his group of ogres, and you thinking, oh man, it's gonna be like some RPG stuff. You gonna have these cold, some Dragon Ball Z stuff with some cold people. Nah,
absolutely.
Only
not.
one of them was worth anything. You had one of them join the good guy. He's like, hey man,
he sure did.
Two other ones just quit. They was like, hey man, he don't even pay us, man. I'm up out of here, bro.
It's so man, this show is so good. If you watch it, if you remember hearing say it was 1993, it's definitely got that style because it's very Dragon Ball-esque, like that, the OG Dragon Ball, like the goofiness, the silliness. I mean, he even looks like Goku. Like this, we got the hairstyle and everything. But yeah, just the silliness of it all. It's also like very like Dragon Quest, Daima kind of vibes to it.
I was about to say that too.
Yeah, this show is awesome. like say Yaiba, he fight like 40K on the line. He's like, I'm trying to win. I'm trying to win. You feel me? But yeah, that's the interaction between him and the main antagonist. Them fighting and him just like egging him on, like, let's fight. He's like, no. And then he's like, this guy, this other guy who's accomplished, he's an accomplished fighter. He's the best in his school. But this little ragtag kid come along and kind of give him a run. It's like, how did I lose to such a
what if I
kid?
stole all your stuff? Would you fight me then? Like,
yeah, he did. He's like, I'm gonna take all your stuff so you have no choice but to at least confront me.
That was
so he started hiding all this stuff around like the school and taking everything. At the end of it, they wanted to fight on the semi truck on the highway. I'm like, all right. So but yeah, this show is awesome. Even like the Musashi bits, like the little old man in the right corner, that's Musashi.
Yeah,
he looks like a little gremlin now. He didn't look like that. It's like an extreme take on how you get older and you like get smaller. It's super extreme because he didn't look nothing like this when he was younger.
Show you what he looked like in there. Like, if you go back to the past, you get to see him and you like, bro, this ain't how you look. Like, what happened?
And there's even some time travel stuff in here because he like fights his rival, comes back like as his younger age. He has to fight him. So yeah, it's a dope show. I'm kind of really loving like the renaissance of like a lot of these older animes coming back and getting adapted and modernized because like Ranma 1/2 is also phenomenal. So yeah, this show is loads of fun.
Those shows have similar energy to me, like as far as like the flow of the show.
They do.
Yeah.
Ranma is very much like this. It doesn't have like the gender bending aspect, but the comedy, martial arts vibe. Oh my god, it's the same thing. And it's just, I almost put Ranma on here. Like Ranma is on my like top 10 list. Just another fantastic show. Like I had a blast watching it. The little rom-com elements to it, like the will they won't they vibe of Ranma and Akane, and then like all the other people around him trying to date them and shit. And then like the fact that Ranma somehow get his ass beat every episode. Even though he win every fight, he still somehow get his ass beat. It's crazy. Just a man, like Devin said, just a great renaissance of older like 80s and 90s shows. I kind of hope it continues just because like I'm not seeing nearly enough great shows that are like new that are taking their place. So if you ain't gonna do new great
Samurai
shows,
Troopers,
give me some old great shows. Yeah, like Samurai Troopers. Like just give me some more of that. So man, let's talk about this Kaiju number 8, man.
Let's go. Let's go. I'm gonna say it. It's gonna be me. Oh wait, is it Will?
It's gonna be me.
I had it on my list, but I said I didn't go far enough. So you went further than me. Go forward.
Did y'all watch the second season?
I only watched first
I
episode.
definitely locked in on this.
I watched the first.
So I think it's just you and Devin King.
So yeah.
Okay. Well, we can all talk about it. This is my favorite anime of last year. I'm gonna straight up say that. I watched it outside of Solo Leveling and stuff, but Man, that second season of Kaiju number 8, man, when I tell you the stakes went up exponentially over the course of a few episodes. The first season ended with a cliffhanger that they know who he is now. I'm glad they did that early. I hate tropes where like you have a secret character and he's hiding his identity, but he's among them for a long time. And like that gets annoying if you do it over and over again. But in this instance, I really like that they had to deal with it early, and then like they became part of the core. Like, all right, we're gonna use this. We're gonna use this dude. We're gonna watch him, but we're gonna use him. And the second season, where he's kind of the team is split up. The original team that he had in the first season, the first core, they've moved to different groups, and they're kind of trying to find their own strength in a way, trying to figure out how they can contribute and become stronger to support the people that they were friends with in the beginning. Like they were separated, but they never forgot about each other, which is really dope. And one part of it is the protagonist. He like Kafka thinks because he's been out as a monster, the people that he used to love or like he worked with, his team, don't care about him anymore. And that's not necessarily true. Even though he's going through these difficulties and he's been out as a kaiju, the people who care about him care more that he didn't tell them more than he's actually a kaiju, which is, I think, was pretty dope. The bonds are still there. I remember Sage saying something last year that caught my attention, and I think they almost addressed in this second season. And that was like, yeah, like these kaiju are so powerful. Like it's like the characters are like trying to be superheroes, but they really ain't. This season they were like, we trying to be superheroes because the upgrades they get, the upgrades they get this season is insane. And even still, it's rough. If you guys remember last season, number 9 was like the big antagonist. He was like the intelligent kaiju who was manipulating people, transforming into humans and stuff. He is still very much the thorn in the side of the organization this season, more so than ever. A certain event happens and he is able to gain so much power, and he constructs a plan to actually destroy the core that is really well thought out. And I will say the balance of them trying to deal with his shenanigans, training themselves up in a kind of a mini training arc in the middle of the season, and then confronting this whole new threat that is composed by number 9 and his influence over an upgrade he gets. Man, it's really well done. There's a lot of intriguing personal moments between the characters. The characters trying to push themselves into new directions and become stronger, but also identifying their own inadequacies and what they want to improve on. There's some loss they have to deal with in this season. There's a lot of trials and tribulations to deal with in this season. It's really freaking good. I love Kaiju number 8 season 2. I recommend it to anybody.
Solid. Devin, you want to chime in?
Yeah, this show is this show is phenomenal. My biggest gripe about season 2, that opening is compared to the first season opening. I'm like,
oh yeah, the opening song.
It's like, you would think like the stakes are higher, so you would think there'll be like a more upbeat energy. It's like this very, I'm gonna put you to sleep. I'm like, okay, that was a choice. But that first season intro was really good. But yeah, as far as like what's going on in the show, yeah, it's like Keem said, it's done turned up to 10. They're at the point now where it's like, y'all, it's some stuff has happened. Like this antagonist has got out of hand, and we got to stop it. He doesn't form other number kaijus. So like one of the things about his universe is like number kaijus don't come around often. It's like one every so often. Now they have like 5 or 6 at one time, and a bunch of other kaiju. So that's like abnormal in the greatest sense of the word abnormal. And they're all intelligent. So that they have to fight not just one intelligent one. So now they got a group under him. Kafka, he's also been trained by the vice captain of his group. I think it's Sasuro, I believe his name was. Soshiro. The Levi
like
of the
Levi
group.
from Attack on Titan.
He's Levi.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Levi of the group.
He's Levi. Yeah.
He gets a pretty dope upgrade, which is actually a funny one. A dope but funny upgrade, because he basically gets a suit that can talk to him and act independently, and they like fight, arguing with each other. Hey man, let me do this. No, let me do this. It's like the shenanigans. Like, hey bro, we gotta fight. Ain't no time to argue. But yeah, Kafka's getting trained by him because he tells Kafka like, hey man, I know you got this kaiju ability, but you need to actually know how to like fight for real and like strengthen your body. That's gonna help you with that. Kafka also is in a dilemma now because he might be turning into a kaiju permanently if he keeps using it. You start to see like parts of his hands start to just like stay like black. So he's like, okay, I want to help my friends, but at the same time, am I gonna permanently turn into a kaiju? So that's a dilemma too, because he also has like gone into a berserk mode once before. So that's also a thing that's like a risky part of this too. Yeah, it's done went pretty dire. There's a certain character that we've lost in the show. There's a character that's now she's in a dilemma of like trying to uphold a standard that somebody else had carried before her. So she's trying to keep that mantle. But yeah, this show is firing on all cylinders. We got what me and King think is a Sub-Zero reference with one of the characters with his ability, especially aside with Sub-Zero. But yeah, this show is awesome, man. I like the first season. The second one is just like, I think this ends pretty soon. This is pretty short, right?
I think the manga ended like either this year or last year.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Last year.
Okay.
Last year.
Okay. So
this year, 2025. Yeah, I think the manga ended in 2025. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah.
So that would make sense why things have like just jumped up to the umpteenth degree. So yeah, but this is fire, man. If you like action anime with like some goofiness to it, but like probably more serious and goofy, I definitely say check out Kaiju No.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put you up on the spot again, Devin. Talk about this Don.
Oh yeah. This anime is so tight. Absolute cinema. When I tell you this is by and large my favorite anime of like the new seasons of the past few years, like by and large, this show is awesome. Terrence, we just talked about Chainsaw Man. As I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, this is one of those new animators in the same vein as Chainsaw Man, JoJo, Fooly Cooly, all these like very avant-garde, weird type anime. It's fire. Again, this one like early on, there's some things where if somebody walk in on you watching, you'll be like, "What you watching, bro?" You know the Sylvana skits where it's like every time you watch the anime, somebody walks in on the part that's like the weirdest. It's like, come on, bro. Like, man, what you watching, man? It's a cool anime. I promise it's cool. I don't know, man. The first season was great, but this second season, man, when I tell you they went above and beyond. The animation is absolutely top notch. I love the characters. Like the character development that's happened, like the relationships that are forming. Yeah, this show is just awesome. The fact that they had to me, I feel like, I don't know, but I've said it. I think it's the best episode of the year. One scene for me personally, they had a reference to a Japanese metal band called X Japan, and it was one of
I've seen people talk about that scene. Yeah.
One of the dopest scenes I've ever seen in anime. It was just fire. Just how they had it, where the kids were sitting there, they was doing an exorcism with a live concert, and Gigi, the character who's gotten possessed by this demon, who's an awesome character. He's such a goofball, but he's one of those characters that's like, he's the popular guy, the girls love him, he's cool, he's handsome, he's in shape, but he's just a lovable guy. He's a cool kid. He's kind of a little bit of a dork, a little goofy, so kind of almost the opposite of how his looks are. But he's such a great character. But he is like, he does get possessed in the show, and they're trying to get that demon out of him. It's also funny because beginning of this season, it's almost like dire straits. Like they're fighting him. He's on bumpers. It ain't no talking. He's fighting. But then later on, he starts to kind of interact with them in demon form. So he's like, at this one scene when he's like drinking some juice, he's like, drink juice. And it's just like, it's almost like a caveman style talking, but he's not like fighting them. He's not aggressive, but he's like still trying to interact with people, even though he's in the demon form. It's so hilarious because like seeing him talk to them. There's a kaiju battle literally in the last few episodes of the second season against a giant Buddhist mech, which is the wildest thing I ever seen. Just like, it's sensory overload. Like I said, it's a weird show, but I think it's a solid one. The last episode, they kind of had an Evangelion reference, had a little space girl in a suit, and for some reason she had the most animated feet I've ever seen. I'm just like, okay, another scene where if he walked in on, they'd be like, "What you watching, my guy?" So it's got those moments, but man, I can tell you, I enjoyed this show from top to bottom. Definitely, if it keeps going like this, I think it's already one of my favorite all times. I love this show, man.
All I gotta say is I gotta catch up.
That's all I got.
I watched the first 3 episodes of this season, and I haven't. I gotta catch up.
Man, please finish it. It's a treat.
I'm gonna be very honest here. I watched the first episode and I was like, "What the fuck is this show?" And then I didn't watch anything else. And then the second season started, and me and Devin are roommates, and he didn't kidnap me, but I was like, all right, I'm gonna see what he's talking about. And I pretty much watched the whole second season. So I didn't watch any of the first season. I watched the whole second season of the show because it was so much crazy stuff going on in each episode with people getting possessed and monsters. And so I'm like, what are they finna do next? Rap battles? Let's see what happens. See what happens. Clowns? Who knows? What's happening, man? Let's see what happens.
That's crazy. Perfect. You skipped the whole first season. You watched the entire
Watch all the second season. Yep. Crazy.
Hey, man. That just means make it easy for you to go back first season.
First season. Let's see what they talking about for real.
Yeah. Let's just go ahead and do this one. This is another one I wasn't sure I was going to put on here, but I just decided to. I was like, oh, man, I really did wind up fucking with this one more than I thought I would.
Oh, Windbreaker. Yeah.
Man, a lot of people wanted to call this just like a generic shonen, and I guess if you, depending on how you engage with it, you could see this as a generic shonen, but once you dig, because even Sakura being like a good fighter that's a tsundere, it's like it feels corny and overdone at first, but the longer you watch it, and this is really the key with Windbreaker in general, the longer you watch it and the more you pay attention, the more you delve into the themes of the show, you realize Sakura is a guy that's constantly embarrassed because he's been so distanced from society. The whole show, it kicks off the first season was him coming to this school and being like, I'm gonna be the biggest, baddest motherfucker out here. Nobody gonna stop me. It's a school that's all about fighting your way to the top. I'm all about fighting my way to the top. I'm gonna fight and fight till I get to the top. And then he gets there and he finds out that the school of Furin, they're not what he thought they were. They protect the people of the city from other delinquent gangs and from other delinquent schools, and they just look out for everybody. And it's been a school, at one point it was what he thought it was, but they transformed it, and so now it's something different. And it forces him to engage with this group. And from the beginning, after he defends this girl, the girl looks at him and is like, yeah, you not I appreciate you helping me, and you think you're gonna fight to the top, but it's just not gonna work out like that. This not the kind of school that you think it is, and you're gonna need to basically 180 your thinking. And so that leads to him learning how to interact with people. And it leads to Windbreaker asking questions like, what does it mean to stand alone? What does it mean to not know how to ask for help? To be so estranged from community for so long that you don't even know when you've become a part of one already. What does it mean for you to have friends and be a burden, but a burden that they're willing to put up with? What does it mean to need things, and how hard it is to hold a community together on your own, and the importance of having a community of friends and people around you that will just let you be you no matter how different you might be. And Windbreaker asks all of those things, and on top of having some cold ass fight scenes, make no mistake, some of the fight scenes in both season 1 and season 2 are fantastic, but there's so much character work, intricate character work that's being done, and it just I really did love this show by the end. Even Tsubaki, the fact that they were willing to have this show about a character, about this group of supposed badass delinquent kids, and then in the middle of it you got this cross-dressing kid who wants to look pretty and have long hair and wear high heels and makeup, lipstick, and all of that, and still got hands, still got is one of the best fighters on the show. Not only that, but they don't just gloss over that. It's not just oh, that's a character on the show and then that's it. No, they spend time showing you exactly how he started, where he started from, and how he developed and became the person that he is. And not only doing that, but also introducing older protagonists, people that are in their old age, and showing how different they can be, and showing the connection that the youth can make to older people and how it can enrich both of their lives, man. They're even thinking about it, I'm like, damn, this show is a lot better than anybody was giving it credit, and everybody just wanted to write it off as just another like, hey man, there's a term for it. Is it just delinquent shows?
I can see that. I can see that probably
think I know what
getting that label.
Like there's a specific
there is a
term for
term
it that I'm
for it.
blanking on. I think it is delinquent shows.
Like a
And
TV
like that.
trope kind of thing?
Well, it's specifically for anime, like because you have a lot of shows both in anime and in live action that are just like super delinquent, like based where like the protagonists are all like these like young punks that just want to cause trouble and like fight and square up with everybody. And it's like Windbreaker could have been that, but the way that they approach the writing is so much, it makes it so much more than that. And thank God, especially since at first I was like, man, where y'all parents at? Like, because come to that, where are the teachers? Never mind I can let go of the parents not being there. You can just be like, oh, they at work. But like, there ain't no teachers at none of these schools. And then like you look into it and the creator was like, yeah, I thought the teacher part of this would be boring. And I'm like, okay, man. But even that is commentary. What's up?
I was gonna say, didn't they establish that in the first season that like the teachers were just so scared of the students that they just nobody wanted to set foot there?
That's what makes sense. Like they be like, hey,
I
y'all
think
got
that's
it,
what
man.
they said if I remember correctly, but I could be wrong.
I mean, maybe, but you should still see some like they just don't work there. It just feels like they just be going to school just to go. Like nobody ever talks about homework, none of that shit. Yeah. I'm like, come on, man. Like y'all just here just to out of habit. You say what?
Handwork. Gotta have homework. Handwork. These definitely ain't no Bucci gear though. I know that much.
No, it ain't. Oh my god.
Boy, that Bucci gear, boy.
The way y'all was dragging that show through the mud, I said, man, get this shit.
I kind of liked it. It was
that what they used to like, not the protagonist. I hated that dude. I hated her protagonist. Hated him.
I will agree. Windbreaker is very good. I haven't gotten into the second season, but yeah, I do agree that it's one of those where on the surface it could be like, oh, it's just another shonen brawler type of show. But no, like from jump, honestly, they talk about the fact that, this show, they talk about how it's more important about protecting community than it is just being able to fight. And I think that aspect of the show is very important, and it could be very easy to like watch it and just be like, oh yeah, this is just all about hands, but it's not really. Like if you really look deeper than that, or if you're actually paying attention, it's one of those where if you're watching with just your eyes and just like, oh yeah, it's action all the time, but if you watch with your eyes and your brain, you'll realize, oh, there's more than just hands going on here. So yeah, I agree with your assessment on it.
Thanks.
Will.
What's up?
Aharen San.
Okay. Aharen San wa Hakaranai, or Aharen is indecipherable. It's more of a comedy show than it is a romance, and I really love the first season because it really is funny. It's really a silly show. As you can see, these two main characters here, they end up basically meeting each other in the first season, and we're just really doing weird stuff. Like there's a lot of references to other shows, and they even have like a rap battle, dance battle, all that type of stuff. Just random offhand stuff happening throughout the show. And in the second season, these two characters are actually dating now. So it is still this thing that I love about it is the dynamic of the show. What I'm enjoying about it so far is that he basically looks like John Everyman, like one of the main background characters you may see in the show. Like he looks like if you put him in a background of a random anime, he doesn't really have a name or he doesn't really do anything special. He may say a quip or two in the middle of a major event. That's what you think he is, but he's a main character here, and you can tell that she is the main character because that's Aharen. But it's a funny comedy, slight romance show. All of their friends are very interesting in such weird little ways, and I enjoy it because of how different they look and how different they act, because he has this overactive imagination about her. And I think the first episode, he was talking about how she was all tired and stuff and everything, but he had this in her head like she was in a cocoon and she burst out and she had 8 wings like an angel when she came out. I'm like, what do you think of your girlfriend, sir, for you to have this idea of her in your head? Why are you thinking so hard about her in such a weird, overactive imagination type of way. Like,
Dude
are
has
you
the
okay?
craziest imagination.
He does. Like he's that dude that'll tell you something and it'll sound so far out, and you just sitting there looking at him like, is everything okay at home or what? And she can't express herself. She's literally stone faced the whole time. And whenever she says something, she says it so matter of factly that you either gonna laugh at it or ask her, "Are you okay? Is everything okay at home for you to speak in such a deadpan tone?" So yeah, it's really funny. I love the setting of it. I love these characters' dynamic. I love the side characters too, because they always add something interesting to their like shenanigans going throughout the school. So I truly have to say, if you want something funny, Aharen San is the way to go.
I finished
Okay.
this
All right.
season. This one thing that I will give this show like this season credit
Yes.
is the supporting cast. They do a very good job of developing. Like, I was actually shocked, like really surprised at how much development all of the supporting characters got throughout the second season. Like, it's an aspect that some comedy shows do better than others. Some comedy shows, like, they'll have like side characters or like supporting characters,
But
and they're
there
just
for that
all
certain
about like
moment.
one gag, and that's
Yeah.
kind of it. But this one, each of the characters, they have like their own thing going on, and they flesh out like their story throughout the season, where when the season ends, each of them have kind of like dealt with their own thing that's going on with them. I will admit, I wasn't a fan of the last episode, the way that it goes about it, but overall, this is a very good second season. And just overall, like, I think that this show is really good. It's really funny. It's really heartwarming, and it's wholesome. It's one of those shows where you're not going to have to worry about anybody walking in on you being like, what you watching? Like, it's
definitely
fun
one of
and it's
those
wholesome. Yeah.
Hey, thank you, Terrence. That's the best part about the show. You ain't gonna have somebody walk in and all of a sudden the screen changes to something you wasn't watching. So yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, we unfortunately, if you watch anime long enough, you've been there before. So, which I mean, like a lot of shows, any show for adults, you've been there before. Really, like you watching something in.
Oh yeah.
Say, hey man, what you watching? Like, oh man,
As soon as you get in there, 20 minutes and 2 seconds in, there's 2 titties on the screen. And you're just like, all right. And somebody just walked in the door, and it's not what you think.
That's just bad luck. Terrence, one more movie for us. 100 meters.
This one is very interesting. This one, 100 meters, is done by the same mangaka as Orb, the Orb anime that came out, I think, in 2024. Orb on the Movement of the Earth, which that was a very well received anime. I heard people talk about it as like an anime of the year. I haven't seen it myself, but I've just heard a lot about it. But this movie is one of those where it's about running. Like, if you couldn't tell, like, it's called 100 meters for a reason. It is about the 100 meter sprint. But what this movie does that's very interesting is that it's not just about just running, like the act of running in and of itself, but there's a lot of philosophy that goes into it as well. Like, the core of the film is, why do each of the characters run? And just to give some background on it, the movie mainly is about 2 characters, one named Togashi and one named Komiya. And it starts out from them as childhood. Togashi, he's kind of considered like the natural talent. He is very good at running. He pretty much finishes first in all the races that he's been in. And then you have Komiya, who you could tell he doesn't come from like a very good background. Like, his family seems like they're pretty poor, and he's terrible at running. And he and Togashi, they get together through like certain circumstances, like, and they become friends. And Togashi teaches Komiya how to run better, because Komiya, he would like to win one of those races one day. And it comes to a point where he does win a race. And then there's like that's when like the different philosophies between the two comes into play, because Togashi is about like, he has like natural talent. For him, his reward for running is a reward in and of itself, like getting first place, like the accolades and everything. And Komiya, since he's more about the hard work, he wants to more so prove himself. And from there, you go to them as teens, and then you go to them as adults, and you see the different paths that they take on their journey as runners. And there's other characters that come into play in the movie as well, and you find out about their reason for running. Like I said, some of them you find out that it is about for the glory, some for the joy of competition, some do it because their life depends on it or like their livelihood, and then some is just to prove to themselves that they matter. So what starts off as like a natural talent versus hard work story in the beginning morphs into something very deeper. And I will say is backed up by some fantastic animation. This isn't on like the level of a Chainsaw Man or Demon Slayer. You're not going to see lights flashing and like characters clashing and stuff like that. It's not like that, but just the animation of the characters running is very well done. It kind of reminds me in a sense of like Ping Pong the animation or what's that anime? Devilman Crybaby. It kind of reminds me of that in terms of like it's very like raw, like rough looking. Like it's not clean, but it's like intentional, and it's one of those things where you have to see it for yourself. I highly recommend this movie. Like I think that this movie is very good. Like I said, it starts off from the characters being kids, it goes to them as teens and then adults, and then when they reach adulthood, there's other factors that come into play as well outside of just being able to run well. It's like, can I keep my sponsors happy? What happens when I'm not at the top of my game and everything starts coming crashing down on me? Like, what happens if I'm not able to support myself? Am I going to have to work a regular desk job? Like, a lot of stuff just comes into play, and the way this movie ends, you leave the theater or you leave your wherever you watch it, you leave home, you leave it just thinking like, yeah, what does it mean to like run or do like the thing that you like to do? What fuels your passion? Do you do it for the glory, the competition, etc.? So yeah, this movie is very good. It's one of those that I think some people might have slept on. It did come out in theaters. It was there for a short period of time, but I think it's on Netflix now. If you have time, I'd recommend watching it. I think it's a very good movie.
The last movie you recommended was Blue Giant, I believe, and that movie was fucking fantastic. So good shit. Let's talk about something that everybody's seen. That Solo Leveling season 2.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, that Solo slop.
I believe this is on Rakeem's list.
Yeah. I'm pretty much sure we all watched this. But yeah, season 2 Solo Leveling, it's right now it's the It Power Fantasy anime. Let's just be honest about that. I remember I read the manhwa for this as well. I was waiting on this season to get animated to see how it looked. It delivered. It definitely delivered. Just coming off of the first season at the end where he gets the power of, in the second season, you kind of understand what his power system is going to be, this necromantic power he develops. And the balance between him ever growing in power and trying to hide it while he's doing these missions. And that's becoming more controversial because now his power, at a certain point, he even goes there to get power skill for real. And then on top of that, his mother, actually, him getting the items to actually wake his mother up and have that emotional moment. I remember that was like a controversy over him getting being emotional for an episode. And I was like, man, that was probably one of the most powerful episodes of the season.
For real.
Absolutely.
Like, he actually accomplished the goal he was setting out to do, to bring his mother back, which was like his whole entire goal. That's why he did everything he did. He didn't really care about all the power. It was just to get the item he needed to bring his mother back.
Look, man, fuck that. If I ain't stunting on niggas, then I can't be real. So
don't worry.
A lot of fans.
He should have aura farmed a little bit before he gave her the cure.
This man was out there on a bench with his shoes bust open. He was out there trying to make a stake. He had a mission. So I don't know why nobody had a problem with that.
Yeah. But anyway, the season is pretty freaking good. It was interesting to see more of the Hunters Association stuff going on, the little training arc, not training arc, but a little kind of show-off arc they had between different training associations from Japan, different countries, working together to achieve this goal. Like, we have this giant ant army that's come over, like their version of the Chimera ant arc a little bit. and them trying to erase those ants, but coming up upon a much bigger threat and getting in over their heads. And of course, we all remember the scene where these folks were dying, and he just sit on top of that building. It's all right. It's time.
No, in my heart, I'm clean as a bitch. Like, all right, man, get your ass down there and help them folks.
Piccolo taught me well.
We see the outfit.
Yeah, but you know what? It also, as silly as that scene was, and it is silly. There's no way to defend that scene. As silly as that scene was, it was kind of a cool moment to see him, because if you think about it, as far as his character, like, he achieved his goal. He didn't need to go over there. He did that hunter thing to save money. He got his mama back. So like it was selfish for the art for him, but it was like an unselfish moment for his character, because he did something that outside of what he had been attributing to kind of help the other hunters out, because he had no intention of going over there. Like, he sent that little, a little black spirit thing off his body just in case they need a little help. But I guess when they found it went over their heads, he's like, all right, I gotta take care of this. I remember even
something about this.
I even remember earlier he was like, man, they got all the like S-rank hunters. They should be good, man. They shouldn't need me. They got all the top dudes, and like then that ant dude showed up and said, "What up?"
That was a fair assessment, though. He's like, "Y'all don't need me."
Yeah, y'all don't need me.
Yeah, but it's also kind of like one of those things where, like, as the audience, we know how powerful he is, and we also know how powerful they are. And we're like,
Had he been re-ranked by then?
I think he had been re-ranked.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, which is why everybody wanted. Remember, everybody was trying to recruit him.
Yeah, because
to the organization.
Yeah, because he came out as an S rank on the same day that actor guy came out as an A rank, and he got completely pushed to the side.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that was hilarious, actually. It also shows you like how people treat people based on their ranks, like how the society deems people who are more attractive, higher rank. And you think about like where he was in the beginning of the show to where he is now, where he's basically famous and able to make a living off of there's a big societal gap there in an argument from him being this low class dude to this high ranked person and like getting all these accolades now. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. Of course, the fight scene at the end between him and the Ant King. Oh my God, man, that was cool as hell. Absolute cinema, as they say. Oh my God,
beautifully animated
that was definitely beautifully animated. I also knew that Ant King stood no chance because his aura was too strong, man. His money was too long, man. His bitch was too bad. They gonna kill you.
Yeah, they gonna kill you.
They gonna kill you.
But yeah, I really enjoyed it, animation wise, attack wise. There was actually some decent story moments in the middle. It was cool to see the necromantic start part, him kind of building his army over time. The snow scene when he's in the snow dungeon in the beginning of the season to where they are at the end of the season. Yep. Not a lot of fluff in there. It was pretty straightforward, and a lot of questions are being asked at the end. If you remember the end of the season, what happens when some gentlemen show up at the very end? You don't know who they are.
Yep.
Also, one of the best frames I think of the whole year. One of the best still frames. There's a lesson of sometimes you got to fight so hard, even your cheeks out, man. You just got to keep fighting, man.
They did animate his butt crack out. That was hilarious.
I don't know if I laughed so hard last year when I saw that. I laughed really hard.
Look, I know people have their gripes with the show, like they feel like it's just another power fantasy. It's like, this is shonen slop. Look, when something is well done, you ain't got to reinvent the wheel. Like this.
Yeah. That's
like,
right.
When you have a show that's well animated, has great fight scenes, solid. I won't say like solid characters for the most part. I mean, I know the show is really just about Jinwoo, but
you ain't got to say that. You can just say it's got great fight scenes, great world building.
Yeah, great world building. Yeah, but
right. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and watching Jinwoo's journey, it was fun to see him go from dirt to being at the top. I mean, you genuinely saw it. Like, dude was garbage at the beginning.
He was.
So that and the opening for this season, fire. Like, still one of my favorite openings of this year. Well, last year,
fire,
2025.
Yeah. As y'all can see, I got it at 7. I don't know what to tell y'all. Like, I'm only bringing this up because people go see it regardless because it is on the podcast. Look, man, I like this show. I enjoyed my time with it. I watched it every week as soon as it came out. But it did the character development outside of Jinwoo. These aren't characters. They just kind of cardboard cutouts. And one of the things that annoyed me the most is the fact that like so-called S ranks, like they're useless already, and there's still, as far as I know, a lot more of the story left to tell. Like it doesn't end with season 3 if there's a season 3. Like it could go on for at least 1 or 2, if not 3 more seasons. And already the S ranks are fucking worthless. Like that Ant King showed up and just decimated them, and there was nothing they could do. And then it was only when Jinwoo showed up and was like, all right, well, I guess I should take this kind of serious. That was the only reason they stood a chance. And, it was a cold moment. It was cathartic for me as a Hunter x Hunter fan to watch someone call the Ant King just get, like, demolished and embarrassed to a point where the dude was just like, at one point, the Ant King was like, it's only one thing left for me to do. I got to get the fuck out of here.
Good.
And he just like panicked and was like, I got to run the fuck away. And Sun Jin-woo was like, ain't no running away, bro. Like, it's up, bro. Like, I seen what you did. You done kill people. You done cut people up. It's up for you. And that was cathartic for me. But like, it's also like, dang, like these S-rank heroes, this is the best y'all could do. Like, y'all just got cooked. So I don't know. I'm interested. It's not that I'm scared off of watching it anymore, but I did want to just point out, like, that's why I gave it a 7. Like, despite, like, it's got great animation, the world building's still good, but, like, the character development kind of grinded to a halt, and it really does feel like, oh, this is the Sung Jin-woo show, and nobody else matters. So,
I mean, without question. Your assessment isn't wrong. You're right.
It's basically just new One Punch Man. You think about it. Dude start from out from nothing to be super overpowered, and everybody else is like, oh, these S-rank heroes, they can't even, because even Genos is an S-rank hero, and he be getting beat up all the time. Every time they got to call Saitama.
There was one story arc I did like in this season with the one dude who's about to retire. He asked the man to come back to the island. Like, don't come back to the island. Just stay where you at. He had to help his friends out. He was a healer. He had to help his friends out.
Oh yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then Sun Jin-woo resurrected him so he could save somebody. He said, "Hey man, let him go, bro. That's my dog. Just let him go. Let him."
Oh yeah, where he was. Yeah. Oh, the guy that died. Yeah.
Honestly, they did that just because if they didn't, he'd have the best healer ever. There'd be no reason for him to ever lose, which, I mean, there already is a reason for him to not lose. So
they're leveling up yet.
I do like the Japan squad got beat to sleep because they was some scumbag. That leader was, that man was not.
That also caused a controversy, by the way.
Boy, did
the creator actually had to apologize.
If I'm not mistaken, in Japan, they say those characters aren't from Japan.
Yeah, that's what they say in Japan.
They made up some other country that they from.
They made up a country over there. Yep.
I'm like, man, I feel a way about that. I'm not gonna lie, because
of how America's depicted, like all Japanese.
And I ain't got no problem with it. Like, if you want to make Americans look goofy and overly freedom oriented and all that, you want to do all the tropes and all that, I'm cool with it. But you also got to take the jokes when it come your way, and the criticism when it come your way. Like, you got to take that too. Yeah. That come with it. Like, you can't just be out here roasting other nations, and then when it come time for you to get yours, you like, nah, but not us though. Like, nah, bitch, man up. So
I'm sure, as we know, there's historical context for that. Of course,
absolutely.
Absolutely. Context is what came to my mind. I was like, oh wait, yeah, I get it.
And don't get it twisted. Like, I've heard that in Japan they do not like solo leveling, and they didn't like it in season 1. And I'm like, man, y'all not fooling me. I know what that is. So like this is they was actually talking. I've seen there was some responses like, this is a series that the West is going crazy over. I'm like, yes. And don't act like you don't, like there aren't plenty of anime just like this that aren't as well animated and aren't as well done. So cut that out.
Hey, you all love your isekai despite how trash some of them can be.
Yeah.
We got AI out here writing light novel isekai.
Oh God.
And winning awards at that.
Oh no. Speaking of that, one last thing before we go on for soul leveling. Enjoy soul leveling for what it is now. Because they start adapting all the Korean soul leveling wannabes. Boy, you gonna get tired of this. You thought you was tired of Power Fetish before?
They already
There
on
was
the
one
way.
we
ain't
saw
seen
from
none yet.
our
Tomb
episode.
Raider King.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
that.
I think Tomb Raider King. So I think one reason it looks similar because Tomb Raider King and Soul Leveling were made by the same like manga company that does the animation or whatever. I think they're made by similar company because there's a lot. All the manga that come from that company look similar. They look like the style looks similar.
Mhm.
That was another one we saw from this upcoming anime I saw to look. He almost was just like Jim Woo. It wasn't this one though, but it was another. I'm like, huh.
What
They
Tomb
already
Raider
on
King,
it.
wasn't it? Oh,
it
not
wasn't
Tomb
this
Raider
one.
King.
They
I
already
feel
on
like
it.
there's one more, but I
Yeah.
can't think of the name of it.
It's another one I saw.
There's plenty. No,
Gonna see a lot of
it's
copies.
it's a thing. It's a
There's gonna
thing.
be a lot of copy paste.
All right, man. I do want to give one little small shout out to Tojima Rider. I had a lot of fun with this show. I thought it was just gonna be like making fun of people that want to be that are like super passionate about Kamen Rider. It turned out to be so much more than that. Very smart, well done, well written show. As far as like character development and comedy, it is like top tier comedy. Like the comedy writing on this show is fantastic. And yet they managed to make some pretty epic fight scenes. There's a reason, like again, 7 on my anime list is just not a bad score. And there's a reason why it's as high as it is, because it is just a fucking blast of a show. All these and then like the fact that it's specifically referencing like Showa era writer instead of like Heisei writer, like thumbs up. And just getting to see these characters be so passionate about something they love, and only to have to suddenly confront like proper shocker and fight like actual monsters. It's insane. And in there, apparently, like there's a crossover between between Tojima Rider and in the mangaka's last storyline, Airmaster, which is a bit of a surprise because Airmaster is kind of a deep cut. So I mean, I'm curious to see where that goes. I'm glad that the show is continuing and it's getting like a full 24 episode run. I'm a little behind on this one. I got to catch back up. I'm on episode 11, and I think they're on episode 15. So I'm excited to see where this goes next. And the last show, me and Devin had this, To Be Hero X. Devin, you wanna talk about To Be Hero X a little bit?
Yeah, this was I remember when we did like the preview of the seasons where this came out. I think this is one I chose. Just off one, the poster looked dope. I just like the way the poster looked. The art style was pretty interesting. It's really interesting because they have a lot of different art styles. They start off with the 3D. It's very Arcane-esque. Nowhere, not quite as well done as Arcane. Arcane looks ridiculous. But it's very similar in that style of like that the CG that doesn't look like garbage like Berserk and some other ones we've seen on the But yeah, this is a really interesting one. A very unique take on like a hero show. Very like topical, like because the characters get their powers from like popularity. It's almost like the main character finds himself in this dilemma. He likes he kind of like idolizes some of the heroes, and he winds up finding, what was the guy name?
Nice.
Nice. Yes, Nice. He winds up running into the guy, and the guy offs himself, and he's like, what, like, what? So all of a sudden, he looks very similar to the guy normally. He becomes this guy. And it's like this concept of like, hey, I can become a character with so much to the point where I look like them. I just have their clothes somehow, the powers and everything. It was a very interesting dynamic on how like the power system works for becoming something that you aren't. Like I said, the animation takes a different turn. It's more like 2D later on, which I actually prefer more than the 3D parts. They go and they take like some almost like a time skip. They go like back in the past and show some heroes and how they got their beginnings. Some really intriguing stuff. There's one like arc where this girl Lucky, she just basically just has super luck. She's in a plane, it crashes, everybody dies except for her, and she just has like this power of luck. And she happens to run across this place like an orphanage, I believe, and it's come to find out it's run by a guy that you think he's good, but he's actually not. His friend is a pretty solid dude, but he obviously didn't know. She runs into this guy. He's basically like the opposite, almost like an omen. Every time around him, things just go bad, like wherever he shows up. So there's a dynamic there. They show her as she gets older, she becomes like this pop star, this idol star, basically. The show then goes into like this. You see like this girl, she's in school and she's like the top of her class. She wants to be a hero. She wants to do good for the community. She wants to change things. She becomes a hero. She's like a top ranked hero. They're in this group. The people that are in this group, they're like at odds with each other, but they're all like top heroes. It's a lot going on. Like I said, a very unique take on just how like the power system is, and you can become somebody. The people believe in you so much that you get their power, you get your power from them. When they start to lose their confidence in you, you lose your powers. You know, so you can be almighty at one point, but if your ratings take a hit, then all of a sudden you're nobody in this universe. There's one character that I liked. He was like a firefighter. He basically had like this strength that people believed him so much he could just hold up anything. He saved like a little girl from like this. I forgot what villain they were fighting, but that was a really cool dynamic of how like this regular firefighter just became like, hey, he's such a noble guy. He puts his life on the line and he became a hero. So this is a very interesting show. I hadn't quite finished it, but I really enjoyed what I've seen so far, and I just love how they use like the different animation styles in this show.
Yeah, To Be Hero X was my favorite anime to come out in 2025. Of the ones I saw, it was definitely the best to me. Just a brilliantly told storyline. Talks about, like Devin said, what it means to be a hero when you get your power from popularity, and how that perception, like in that world, perception altered who you were. Like in real life, perception alters how people see you, and like suddenly people can see you as one thing, even though your actual persona or your actual characteristics are something else. This changed you entirely. Like there were ways like that in, like, I think the first arc, there's a thing where everybody didn't want Nice to go see someone, and he literally couldn't leave his building. Like he was stuck, he was trapped inside. Like the character that Devin talked about that was like a firefighter, like they saw him as like this strong, always standing tall type person, and it got to a point where he literally couldn't bend over. So he couldn't sleep, and I could only imagine what it was like using the bathroom. And so like that became, it was a whole thing. And like all these things that shape how, like everything is just about like how society shapes what they think of, not just you, but everybody like that, you know. And not only that, like the fact that the story was told in this non-linear fashion. Like every episode, every 3 or 4 episodes is like a new arc with a new main character. And in all the stories, they all interweave into like a singular narrative, which demands that you watch it more than once to catch all the little details. I like shows like that, shows that make you pay attention. Like this ain't no second stream viewing. You watch this and try to scroll through Twitter or do some other shit, you're gonna be like, I don't know what's going on. Like, how did this happen? Where did this character come from? That character evil? Like, you're not gonna see none of that coming, and you're gonna have to go back and rewatch it. So yeah, this just has fantastic world building. The animation, like Devin said, is incredible. I like the 3D art style. I also prefer the 2D art style, but eventually they kind of explain why that is, like why they switch in between art styles so much. They're not just doing it just to do it. Speaking of animation, like, man, some of the best fight scenes in anime last year were in To Be Hero X.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like that fight scene between Queen and her rival. Boy.
Yep, that's the one.
Boy. The
Even
fight
between
scenes.
Isol, that was a pretty good one.
Yeah, the two Isols, the old Isol versus new Isol, fire. Hero X's fight scenes, like y'all, I mean, nobody else has finished it. You got to get to like the last part, see Hero X's fight scenes. Those fight scenes are incredible, and it's just the animation studios just showing off and just doing some of the most ridiculous stuff. And like, man, everything about this show is on point. It's not just the fight scenes or the animation. It's also the world building and the character development, the writing. Like, and the fact that there's more to this show, I cannot believe it, but I'm so happy. I can't wait to see the second season. I know that it's confirmed to be like 48 some odd episodes. I cannot wait.
Okay.
I don't know when that's coming. I don't know if it's coming out this season or not. I mean, this year or not. I hope it is, because I can't wait to come back to this universe.
Was this an anime of the year contender? Was this an anime of the year contender?
In terms of what? For
like the anime awards.
Does
those haven't happened yet.
Yeah, that's like February or March or something like that.
Yeah.
I didn't know if they put out the nominees already. My bad.
I don't think so.
Not yet. Yeah.
I would be shocked. I think Solo Leveling is probably gonna run away with it.
Probably so. Although Solo Leveling, well, it's weird because of the timing of the awards. Solo Leveling won last year when I feel like people were voting on it because of how good season 2 was. So
yeah.
I will say that it's very interesting that these Chinese anime, like they're really they coming up. They coming up.
Like these are going to be something to compete with.
Yeah.
There are a handful of these, like Link Click. That's another one that's really well
I've
received.
heard a lot about Link Click.
I've heard a lot about that one too.
And then the cultivation anime, those are really well beloved. What's the one? Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation, like that one's really beloved. So yeah, they got a lot going on over there. And
the Mysteries anime, I think that was Chinese too, wasn't it?
That's another one.
Oh yeah, Lord of Mysteries.
I know Lord of Mysteries.
Mysteries.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's
I know about that.
Chinese anime or donghua, that shit coming up, bro, and it's gonna be something to compete with over the time, which is good because I think anime has gotten kind of complacent, and we get a lot of shows where it's like this could have not been a show, and like to hear that they, some of the studios are stretched thin, I'm like, man, fuck that, y'all need to merge studios and work on a couple of good shows instead of working on so much garbage. And I'm not trying to throw shade at Japan as a whole. I'm just talking about certain studios where I be looking and I'm like, this what you wasting your season on? Reincarnated as a bucket of KFC's chicken? Hey man. Don't work on that. Work on, work on a shonen adaptation or work on an original show. Work on something like that. Like work on a new Josei manga. Like let some of these light novels go because some of them light novels be ass. I'm not gonna lie to you. Sometimes you can tell, like you be watching sometimes I can tell the difference between like manga and light novels just in terms of like the work that they put into the craft. Where like, okay, the character development and the writing is just even if you think manga is not that, like some shonen manga is not that well written, like I promise you, however not well written you think shonen manga might be, light novels tend to be worse. And some of them, like all but some of the best ones need to be just like excised. You need to just stop. Don't worry about them and just go make some more top tier manga or original anime. Let's make some more original anime. I would love to see that.
Yeah.
I think that's gonna wrap this week's episode up. If you're new to us and like this episode, I need you to do a few favors for me. I need you to hit that like button. I need you to subscribe, tell your friends about us, and do me a personal favor. Have an excellent week. Peace.